Is this the first concerto you've written for viola?
It is. I've written for viola within ensemble and
Yes.
within orchestra, but as a front out Harold in Italy style, this is the instrument. No, never done this before. And the challenge of writing it for wind is an extra thing, because you really do have to. We paired it right back from being a potential full concert band
Yes.
to one instrument per part,
Right.
and even then, I'm still thinking in block chords, and it's a challenge for them to get the right dynamic, and it's something they're perhaps not used to, because they're not used to playing with a string instrument out the front.
Well, there's certainly a lot of firsts in this project. It's the first time I've ever played a concerto that was just for winds. First time I've ever been to Australia, and I found the people here in Melbourne to be so friendly and open, and I've also found there to be amazing beer here. Just
Yes.
so that's been one of the hidden
national
treasures.
That's a national treasure, though. That's not just endemic to Melbourne. You'll find it everywhere. But the Melbourne thing about being open and a bit more relaxed and more laconic is really.
And so you know Roland Young, the conductor of this orchestra. He was one of your first conducting teachers?
He was my very first conducting teacher. I learned conducting in a very haphazard way for a while, where my old school teacher said, I can't do Tuesdays assembly with the orchestra, you better conduct.
So he's from Melbourne.
And this was back in Melbourne. And so a couple of years later I met Roland.
Yeah.
And started taking lessons from him, because and that was he gave me a very grounding tip. Firstly, he told me I had to shift my baton from my left hand to my right hand. And that was the beginning of my conducting lesson.
Of course, conversely, he's been trying to teach me how to use a stick shift from the right hand to the left hand, and I decided the best thing is just to take the train.
Take the tram, absolutely,
and be safer.
Well, obviously things go in huge circles, because I went from left to right. You were trying to go from right to left.
Yeah.
Karma has suddenly, after 30 years, been restored. But yeah, he taught me a lot of the basics about patterns and cueing and that sort of thing. And then I went on to there with a guy called Brian Stacey, and then a couple of teachers in the States. But at the basis of my conducting pattern is still Roland's efforts.
I've been staying with him this week as his guest, and he and his wife Robin have been such a delight to get to know, and they've really taken me in. I felt like part of the family. Watching him work with his students at the school where he teaches, and then working with Granger has been just a pleasure, because he's so inspiring.
He is a very warm and generous guy. He lives for the music and the fact that other people can make the music too. And I found that when he was teaching me as well. There wasn't I'm the guru.
Exactly.
There wasn't that. There was this is a way you might try to think about doing it with your hand. I actually found myself teaching a student this the other day. This whole thing he taught me about the hand coming down into a relaxed area.
I got the real sense in working on your concerto that he and I were on a quest together to find not only the musical meaning of the piece, but how to bring it off technically and logistically. And that's been a real treat.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me for either of you, because that's what I would have expected from both of you.
And what's also funny about this trip is that it's the first time we've ever met, although it seems like I should have known you for a long time.
Yeah, because we know a lot of similar people, same people.
Yes.
And Facebook gives you this interesting insight into people's lives that you don't necessarily know. But as I was saying to somebody before, it's still proof that Facebook is never going to end people meeting. In fact, what I think it does is it spurs them on to meeting. And
I think so.
And there's a kind of a lovely meeting that's happened.
Yeah.
And then a lot of what you know, if you're fortunate, gets confirmed when you meet that person.
Yeah.
And you sort of see their body language, and you see all the way they look at you and other stuff. And you think, oh, they're either very nice or they're complete loonies.
Right.
And most of the time, they're okay.
That's right. Especially in our profession.
Oh yeah.
I've found it to be an amazing way to just get to know so many people who love music and make it their career. And so that's one of the best things about Facebook, is it's made it possible to meet you come here and play this amazing concerto. So
thank you,
in
Mr.
about
Zuckerman.
15 minutes, I'm going to actually play it.
Yep.
So I guess I'd better get changed.
We've got to get changed, and I'm going to actually find
your seat.
I have a bottle of soda, Diet Coke to drink.
Excellent.
In there.
Thanks so much.
Play
We'll
well
do it.
tonight, mate.
Okay.
Thanks.